Hey guys, how you doing? Steve Lav here. Just a couple of old stories from back in the past, back in the day. Some of the funny stuff I remember that happened. Not so much. Yeah, happened to me, or I was involved with some of the situations. And let me say, I had this one guy I used to work for. He's no longer around. He moved down south. Now this guy had, a bunch of income property, a bunch of six-family houses in the city environment type of thing. So just a little background on a guy. He was an older guy, lived in a log cabin. He looked kind of like Santa Claus. He was all white hair with like a beard. He kind of looked like Santa Claus. His name was yeah, the guy's name was Peterson. I won't say his first name, but his name was Peterson, and he had all these income properties. And he had a whole bunch of them, six or seven of them, six family houses, and this is kind of like he did for a living. And he wouldn't do any electrical or plumbing work. He would call a guy like me, and I did the plumbing, heating, and in a house like that, it's kind of like a Section 8 type of housing, low income. The state helps pay for it, and they're not the greatest houses, apartments. The plumbing is old plumbing, tub on legs type of thing, old, and the heating's all just like space heaters into the chimney. So every apartment has its own space heater. So that's what the heat entailed. It was working on the space heaters, and I did a lot of that for him, and did a lot of plumbing repairs and faucets and stuff like that. He got this one time he called me, and I'd worked for this guy for a lot of years. And eventually, what happened was he got sick of the rules and regulations and sold all the houses and moved down south and started another investment down south more so. But I missed the guy. He was a good guy. His name was Bruce Peterson, and he was a great guy and one of my better customers. He's probably been gone about 10 years now down south. But he had this one house that he called me in. Now in a bathroom you got sinks, you got regular vanities that got base under it with a top, and then you got a wall hung vanity, which basically a wall hung vanity is. It's just put a hanger on a wall, and you hang this porcelain sink on there, and there's no legs on the sink. It just hangs off that hanger, and you hook the drain and the water pipe up, and they're all right. It's a wall hung sink, but you can't be hanging all over them because they kind of bend off the wall, and they're not the strongest scenario in the world. You're better off with a base under a sink that has doors, a regular vanity. You're better off with something like that. But anyway, he had one of these sinks that he said that, was falling off the wall. Can I go over there and fix it? So I went over there and looked at it. It was up on the third floor, and, I took the sink. It was all bent and twisted. I had to redo all the drain pipe and, refasten the hanger to the wall and rehang the sink, straight, flatten it, and make sure it was all level and straight. And we hook up the drain and everything. And I said, boy, somebody must have fell into the sink, for it to bend like that. So this video is, kind of like for 18 and older. So if you got any young kids sitting on your lap watching, you might not want to let them continue to see the whole video. Just so you guys, if I'm going to do any funny videos or anything where it might be a little questionable for young kids, I'll mention it from now on, just from here on going on. So anyway, so I do the repair and stuff, and then 2-3 days go by. He calls me again. He says, "Hey, I got the same problem with that sink over there on that third floor apartment over there. It's falling off the wall again." So I said to him, "Really? That seems a little odd." That I went over there and took my time and straightened it all out, and got it going again. All right, so I went back over there a second time, and sure enough, the thing was bent, hanging off the flipping wall again. It's like, wow. So do the same thing again, shut the water off, disconnect the drain, pull the sink off the wall, tighten the screws up on the hanger, and they were into the wood. They weren't just into the, sheetrock. They were into the wood, and it's like, man, I wonder what's going on over here. Is this, I didn't see the person. Is this person in a wheelchair or something and fell on the sink? Are they leaning on the sink like this, pushing on? Oh, no, it's just a young female living here. She's just tiny. She's a tiny little thing. He's telling me. So she's not. No, did she fall in the sink or anything? Oh no, I don't think so. I think everything's fine. You must have just screwed this one up. You might be getting old. All right, so I do the whole job and everything, and I just straighten it back out again, put it back on the thing, and so I'm telling him, I said, something's wrong here, this isn't right, something's wrong here. Maybe the house is haunted. I don't know. It could be the house is haunted or something. So anyway, I chalk it up as maybe I did something wrong the first time. So 3-4 days go by, he calls me, get all pissed off. Hey, the sink's falling off the wall again. You gotta come straighten this out. So I said to him, hey, listen, guy, something's wrong here. Sinks just don't fall off the wall. Something's going on here. We don't know. Something behind the scene here. You better talk to this woman and find out if she's leaning on the sink. What's going on? Something's wrong. So I go over there, straighten it out the third time. And yeah, it's hanging off the wall, but not as bad as the first time. The first time, the piping and everything was bent. And it's like, man, I can't believe the water wasn't squirting out of this thing. So I go straighten it out third time. Guy's all pissed off at me. It's like, hey, guy, I'm just, So I said, you better talk to this woman, find out what the hell's going on. So he goes, knocking on her bedroom door. It's about 11 o'clock. She's all passed out, sleeping still. He finally wakes her. She comes to, what's going on? She says, well, this is the third time the plumber's been here. What the hell is going on? He's telling her, what's going on? You need to be straight with me and tell me what's going on. She says, all right, I'll tell you. I love to have sex on the sink, she's telling this guy, and I'm more like in the background. Holy shit. This broad's having sex on the sink. A wall-hung sink, sex on the sink. And I'm saying to myself, I can't believe this. And I'm like, he starts going off on it. He's going off, I gotta pay this guy. He don't work for free. What the hell's going on here? So I say to him, tell her to have sex on the kitchen sink. That thing's more stable. He looks at me like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Sex on the sink. Unbelievable. Some of the stuff I see. And then the guy's all pissed off. He didn't want to pay me. It's like, oh, you're going to pay me? Hey, you're going to pay me for this job. He paid me. Sex on the sink. Unbelievable. The more I looked at the woman, the better looking she got. No, I'm just kidding. Sex on the sink. Oh my God. Yeah, a little funny. Some of these things I've seen over the years, man. Yeah, and I got another story too. I used to work with this other guy. He was a real older guy. He was a fireman, and he ended up, giving the apartments and stuff to his son because he was really old. He was 95 or 100 or whatever, and he couldn't do it anymore. So he gave all his stuff to his son, which the son was an accountant, nice kid, but he wasn't mechanical, and he would try to do stuff himself, what he would call in plumbers when he got in a jam type of thing. So he had a lot of these low income houses too, rental houses, 6 family and 3 families, and boarding houses, and the places were nasty. And the people that lived in there, they didn't have a lot of money, and a lot of them were on state aid, and not the best people sometimes as far as taking care of properties. They don't really care about. They don't have the money, and they don't care whatever the deal is. A lot of them sleep late. Get up 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. They're waking up type of thing. But anyway, that's another story for another day. This guy calls me with backed up drains sometimes. I would do tub drains and laterals and fix faucets and stuff for them, that type of thing on the plumbing end of it. Heating again, space heaters and stuff like that. No air conditioning in places like this. If they got air conditioning, they stick a window unit in there, plug it in, that's their air conditioning. Most of them don't even have air conditioning. Just open the windows in the summertime. Up north here, a lot of times you don't really need the air conditioning and all that as much as you do down south. But anyway, this guy calls me one time, the drain's all backing up, and he's got one of these, old-fashioned Essex tubs on legs. They got the 4 legs, the old-fashioned Essex tubs, and the old cast iron tubs on legs, and they're heavy duty. These tubs are heavy duty, and they got, they're cast iron. They got a thick porcelain coating on the inside of the tub. So I go in there and I look in there, and there's all schmag on the bottom of the tub, and I could smell it, and it smelled like acid, drain cleaner. So I said, what the hell did you put in there? He said, oh, I dumped a couple of big containers of drain cleaner down there. Hopefully that thing would go. I said, you shouldn't be using that drain cleaner. Some of that shit's pretty nasty. I said, what did you use? He said, oh, look at the bottle. I look at it, sulfuric acid. He had dumped the sulfuric acid in the bottom of the tub there, and it wasn't draining. It was just in the bottom of the tub. So I went out and got my plunger, right? And I tried plunging this stuff. And it was like the porcelain had just bubbled up right off the tub. And I took my plunger and I put my plunger down and I moved my plunger along the bottom of the tub, and the porcelain was coming off like cake frosting. That's how the sulfuric acid ate right through the porcelain on the tub. I couldn't believe it. I took my plunger and I moved it, and it was like just moving the porcelain off there like it was cake frosting. It was all bubbled up, like all the porcelain was bubbled. I said, holy shit, guy, look what you did. You ruined the tub. You ruined the tub. Oh, well, what can we do to fix it? I said, yeah, fix it. You don't have to rip it out. Either that or get one of them guys over there that puts the paint on it. That shit don't work. They paint the tubs with this special paint, epoxy paint. Shit peels off in 2 months. Two months they'll leave it there. The paint's peeling off. Oh yeah, it's the greatest thing for tubs. We'll just paint it with this epoxy paint. That stuff don't work. But anyway, I couldn't believe it. The porcelain come right off the tub. Like cake frosting. Unbelievable. Some of the stories and some of the stuff I've seen, I think back on some of these, and these are true stories I'm telling you. So yeah, I was at my tax guy the other day, and he was telling, and they're buddies, you know, him and my tax guy are buddies, and they tell me, oh, that guy Lavamore, you know, he told me, get out of the way, I gotta fix this job. These guys are in my way, and they want me to over there. Say, let's go, get out of the way so I can do my work, you know. That's how I talk to these guys. They go, oh my God, you're calling me to fix it, and you're standing there looking stupid. Get out of the way so I can fix the job. Standing there looking stupid. Oh, I can't figure it out. I can't fix it. Can you help me? But anyway, they keep calling me back though. Yeah, at least he gets the job done. At least he gets the job done. No, they don't pay me. It's all well and good kidding around, you know, joking and stuff, and I don't mean nothing serious by it. It's just kind of just, you know, sometimes the way I am, I get another 6 jobs to go to after this job. I can't be waiting around with this guy, you know. Come on. Lead follower, get out of the way. That's my motto. Lead follower, get out of the flipping way. Yeah. Hey, hopefully you guys enjoy, you know, some of the stories. These are all true stories I bring you. And, sometimes I think about some of them, and I said, oh, I should do a video about that. I laugh during the day, bring back old memories and some of the stuff. Some of the old war stories, I call them. All right, guys, hey, I appreciate you watching, and thanks for all the comments and stuff, and I'll try to do more of these if you guys enjoy them. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do more of these joking around or, you know, just old war stories. All right, man. Hey, have a good day and stay out of trouble.